want to talk about side guard. Okay, so still in closed guard, we're just creating a bit of a different angle so that we can set up attacks and things like that, right? A little differently. We can get to the back. So I feel like it sets you up to break their posture better, to create a little bit more action versus just being straight on in closed guard. Okay, so the first thing, if I can use Jovan, so we're here, right? Jovan just settled back, has posture, right? Here we are. So I want to be able to get a 2-on-1 grip to get him to the side guard position. So for those of you who don't know what 2-on-1 means, because I feel like we just kind of throw that term around, it's 2 grips on 1 limb, right? So I'm not just going to be able to use 1 arm to move him, right? I need to use 2 grips. We've got many different options, and I don't want you to get too caught up in that. I want to just show you these things, and you can see what you naturally gravitate towards, right? So one basic 2-on-1 grip is just like what we learn when we're teaching or learning arm bars from closed guard, is I'm going to get the same side wrist grip, and then I'm going to swim through, especially if he's doing a good job framing here to posture, and it's hard for me to just bring him in with my legs. I'm going to have to swim underneath this arm. So I do my little oblique crunch, I swim knees to the chest, and I grab his tricep. This is my 2-on-1 grip, right? Because I have 2 grips on 1 limb. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a bridge, and I'm going to try and bump his elbow at least to the other side of my belly button, which would be great for an arm bar, to the other side of my hip for the side guard. So we're here, so I'm going to bump, bring him over. If I still need to bump some more, I can bump again. But now this is where I'm going to open up my guard, foot on the mat. I still keep my leg controlling his lower back so he can't pass, but I'm going to go ahead and shrimp out, grab the armpit, and scooch until I get to this position, okay? So I've got a handle on his armpit, my elbows down on his back, and my guard is closed. My chest and belly are behind his shoulder. I can grip, I can switch the grip on this arm. We're gonna talk about gift wrap options, all that good stuff. In the gi, I can punch and control, okay? But this is the position I wanna end up in for side guard. I don't wanna be underneath him. He could just plow right back in and square up. Not all is lost, right? We're still in closed guard, but this is the position I wanna keep. I really wanna make sure I'm on my hip, my chest is forward, controlling his shoulder, and this is my spot. Guard is closed, okay? This is what's gonna create the angles, get us to the back. We've got lots of sweeps, submission options from here. So that's the first variation, right? Or the first 2-on-1 option. So we have that arm bar, we're gonna swim under, get the tricep, shift him over, boom, here we are, okay? That's the classic like arm bar 2-on-1. Now, same kind of deal, same grip, same side on the wrist. We can do an arm grab, an arm drag variation. So this is a mirrored 2-on-1. I'm bringing my hand underneath his armpit and bringing his hand underneath mine, okay? So I use my legs still always to break posture, but I'm gonna pass just like this, okay? This is the movement. I just shoot my hand all the way through. I can then grip to the tricep, but I'm gonna come in, I open up the leg, right? That's the same movement, shrimp and get to this side. There's a cool sneaky arm lock here if we keep this arm in position. We'll go over that later, but that's a cool thing to remember. Then I can always regrip and I'm in my position, right? But what I wanna make sure of with this option is that I'm not coming underneath and keeping his arm on the outside. He's gonna square back up, right? There's nothing controlling him. So I've gotta pass this underneath. Then I can grab, control the arm and the shoulder and get into my position, right? Come under and hug, this is great, good stuff, okay? Option 3 for the 2-on-1, okay? I'm gonna get a cross grip here on the wrist, right? And then this is a reverse Kimura. So what I'm gonna do is punch his wrist towards his chest or belly, and I'm gonna come through underneath his arm and grab my wrist, okay? A reverse Kimura would ideally look like this, where I'm pushing his hand through, right? It's kind of the opposite rotation of the Kimura. I'm using this more so to create the angle and put a little tension on his arm. As I flare his elbow towards me, I open up and get him to the side. Okay, so that's gonna cause a nice reaction and give me space to kind of get to the other side of his shoulder because of how I'm maneuvering his arm, okay? So that's the reverse Kimura. I'm here, I get this cross grip, come under, punch, I get my figure 4, punch, flare, step, see? He can't really control that elbow, right? Now I'm on the other side, boom, okay? And then lastly, one that I like, still the cross. We're gonna come in and just do a nice C grip. So I'm gonna grip her behind the elbow. I'm still gonna need to break his posture, and I'm gonna need to use some bridges here, right? Especially, like I find this, if like Jovan is hunkered down a little bit more and his elbow is right in my crevice here, which he's gonna wanna hide it, right? Because he doesn't want me to move across. I'm gonna come behind the elbow. I'm gonna bridge to deflect and take away that crevice. That's gonna help me pull him or push him across, right? I've got the pull and push. So I'm gonna do this motion as I then also shift my hips out of the way, right? So I need to deflect, but also move around him. That's what a lot of this is with the 2-on-1, right? So I'm gonna bridge, push across, scooch my hips or escape my hips away, shrimp, and get into my position, okay? Does that make sense, guys? So I just wanna get to side guard. I really wanna get to that control, but we've got 4 different 2-on-1s that we can play with. Just experiment, see what feels good. You might only like one, right? We're gonna just warm up with a few reps, and then we'll do it throughout the class, okay? Got it? 1, 2, 3.